Okay. Yeah, Allison just took the words out of my mouth. Thanks for coming, everybody. Yeah, I'm just going to get right to it because I'm blown away right now. Could I have all the filmmakers, all the actors, producers, everyone that was involved with this come on forward if you like? And what's it? If you guys like, yeah, come on. I'd especially, yeah, dude. I got to ask you guys something to say. This is, yeah, man. I got to talk about this. Yeah, man. Yo, dude. Right. Oh man. Oh, dude. Nice to meet you, man. Jeremiah. Dude, how you doing? Yes, and we got. This one? No, we got to turn around. All right. Yeah, so without further ado, sorry about the technical difficulties on my part. But once again, can we give it up for these filmmakers and these movies that you just saw? Man, this is incredible. So, yeah, let's get right to it because the way I know these was good is that when it renders somebody who talks too much speechless, that's how I know it's good. Because we got to talk, man. But by we, I mean you guys and all of y'all because I can't wait to talk about what we just saw. So first things first, yeah, give us your name, the movie you're in, your character, and we'll start there.
My name is Andre K. Jefferson. The movie was Grieving Brothers, and I play Benjamin.
Jeremiah McGee. I play Cyrus in Grieving Brothers. We also wrote it, directed it all together as well, too.
I'm Alison Ewing, and I'm an actor. That's it.
Oh, there's way more than that.
The triple threat.
I'm Kathy. I'm the producer and helped write this.
I'm JP Allen, writer, director,
Editor, all of it.
All right. So you know what? Let's get right to it because I do have a couple questions I want to get started off, which is, number one, could you guys talk about a particular challenge of the films that you guys did and also a favorite part of the films that you guys did? Oh, just, yeah. Yeah, you can start.
For Grieving Brothers, a challenge I think was not being so protective over my character because we also wrote it together. And so it's like, I know I'm acting this role, so I don't want to, I don't want this character to be like this or do this. And, he would fight me all the time. I had to separate, the writing from, acting Benjamin out. So that was kind of like a challenge. And then just, diving into what that was, it was a challenge for me too.
Hey, so what did you like about it, Dre?
Yeah, what you like about it?
What I liked about it, I just liked the freedom of it. We got together. We was like, yo, let's write. So we had different brainstorms, and we picked the best one. So we picked this one. And it was just so much freedom because, it was both of us brainstorming, collaborating, and just picking what we felt was true to tell the story.
Yeah, so I'm very similar to what Dre said. The things that was very difficult was, I want to say, of course, the writing process, going back and forth and making sure the character speaks for himself. But on a deeper level, like on the production side of things, the lighting, it was we couldn't anticipate the lighting when it came outside to the exterior shooting because the sun, it started rising, just kept rising, and it just kept rising. So we didn't get to shoot. We had to shoot again. It's like, dang, it doesn't look the same now. So that was the biggest thing. But the best part was being able to find another actor that was willing to kind of go through the storm and write with me. and collaborate. That was a true collaboration. We didn't have any true intentions but to write something for us both to shoot and add to our acting reel, and it came out to something amazing. So I think that's really the best part. I really enjoyed as well too.
I love that was a motivation and it turned out like that. So cool. I think the challenge, I mean, obviously you saw me like, we shot over 15 months, like actual production time. And this is the second film I've done with them in that fashion. And that just automatically lends itself to challenges of like continuity. Like you saw me gain and lose weight during that and look differently. And just, you know, keeping the story alive in your head is really challenging. The joy of it was that this is the second film that I've done with them, and the trust that has been built over the first film, like nothing has ever compared to that. So, and I can talk about this, but like the story kind of changed a lot. It started in a novel, and then we had a script, and it changed dramatically from what it started with, and just having like this utter faith in the people that you're working with, where I didn't know where it was going, and I didn't care. Like I was just really inspired and just could go with it free fall was a truly magical experience as an actor.
We asked her to do crazy stuff, and it wasn't in the script. And she just went, okay, I'll do it. That's fine. So this film created it kind of, we'd look at it over 15 months. Was it 15 months or 16 months? And we'd see things that needed to make it plausible or to make it real, and it sort of created itself. We talked till 3 or 4 in the morning creating and really thinking about who these characters are and the trauma of this character that Alison went through where nobody believed her. And so how does that work, and what would that bring into adulthood where she doesn't feel safe, and how do you get beyond that? So we really intricately discussed every detail. It was challenge, and it was just so fun.
First of all, I want to say how much I loved your acting in Grieving Brothers. That's fantastic. Well done. Well done. Great act. It's fun to watch. Yeah, we just had a blast because Kathy created the story with me once the original script was there. And then she said it became a collaboration between really the three of us, because Alison would just go with these new ideas we were coming up with to kind of make it work. So we had a good time.
Man, that's so incredible, man. And I may be a little biased here, sorry, but I've known Alison for a while, and I've been wanting to work with her for so long. That's still a dream of mine. And I've already got to work with Jeremiah on the acting side. And, yeah, Mr. Advocate, which is showing tomorrow, Sunday. But now, I wish one day maybe I could work with you, and especially this man right here, too. I'm telling you. And so I'm sorry, I'm kind of superstar geeking out right now. But the thing is, I want to thank you for showing what I think is just the quintessential meaning, definition, and honestly purpose of what films could be. A 10-minute short film that gives you so much, and a full-length feature film that gives you so much. You saw a back-to-back of what's possible. So with that, I want to open it up to you guys with any questions, any comments that you want to say, because what we saw was just incredible. Yeah, right there. Let's see.
Hi, JP. As a question for JP, you're also listed as cinematographer. Did I misremember that, or is that correct?
True. Why don't we ever say that? Yes, yes. He shot
Okay,
every single
so
thing.
then I have the right question. So, how many different cameras are used in this film? Looks like there was some phone footage in there. There was something with deep depth of field. It actually all adds up very nicely. But
Oh, yeah.
if you could just talk through the
I think
process.
probably 4 cameras, the different types, Canon, as you said, and various lenses that were very, appropriate for the scenes, of course. So, but mainly we're trying to, as always, you're trying to use the way of filming something, the location that evokes and advances the story. So that's the key thing that we're looking for, and we use that type of the camera that will do that. And hope we try.
You stole the shots on San Francisco streets, right?
Yeah, you could put it that way. It's a public street. We could shoot there.
No, it was very well done.
We may have had to shoot at 2 a.m.
And me being good on that street, I had like friends looking out at the corner to make sure that I wasn't actually going to hit. It's just awesome San Francisco filmmaking.
Yeah, that's amazing. Hey, yeah, right there.
Yeah, so hi everybody, I'm Olenka, and we are one of the very proud co-sponsors of this film festival now several years. And
Thank you.
thank you for all the terrific films, but this last film, Memorizing Alison, was fantastic, kept me at the edge of my seat the entire time. The acting, I mean, just a fantastic movie that I would love a lot of people to see, number one. So you'll have to share with us how we can make that happen. And then also, what other films can I see by you, your team, because the style and everything was wonderful. So well done, and so delighted that you're here for us to share our enthusiasm about the film. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a company called Coffee and Language, and we've done about probably 11 features here. I've got one of my cinematographer from the last feature we did, Dan Gomes here. Leslie Baumberger, art director. Yeah. Yeah, he's the last 4 of our films. So coffeeandlanguage.com.
And it'll be on streaming. Many of them are streaming, and we'll be streaming.
Cool. And yeah. Oh yeah. And yeah. Can we see yours? Yeah.
No, this is the only one, and it won't go public.
Oh wow. Someone's just straight up. Wow, someone's just straight over the festival. That's cool. Yeah, is there any other questions or comments? Yes. Oh, yeah, great.
First of all, compliments to all of you, and especially to JP for being everything, the cinematographer, the writer. And I've had the pleasure of working with Alison in our feature that's screening tomorrow. For you, you took us on a ride. I mean, I was like in the film, the psychological ride. And so my question you said your story evolved. So did you like rewrite it or just on the fly it evolved, or what was that process?
Both. It's based on a novel, and then Kathy and I co-wrote the story as it. We had an original script that we were dissatisfied with, even though Alison was on board, and we realized that the character needed to be much more developed, and so Kathy and I started working on the story. And really, I want to just give her so much credit because she came up with a lot of the major plot points and the character development in the piece that is very, very significant. It was just a blast doing it with her. So, yeah, and then we'd, as Kathy said, we'd shoot a scene, see what was needed, and then sometimes just have an inspiration, like the dancing that was in the film was like kind of just decided almost at the last minute because we were trying to figure out how to capture emotionally what would express some way visually, cinematically, what he was reading and what she was feeling and how it would advance through the script. So we thought, okay, let's imagine that she's dancing and that it's back in that space and it's in his mind. He sees her one way as beautiful and sexy dancing, and then later on she's revealed as vulnerable and hiding. So we tried to. That's an example of how we sort of advanced and improvised as we went along.
That's kind of the uniqueness of filming over so long is you get that opportunity to see where they're at and make changes, and they afford themselves that luxury by spacing out the production, right? And so, I mean, there were definitely scenes added in, changed. I didn't know the ending until maybe 75, 80% of the way through the movie. And there was like, they didn't know either. And there was multiple options like, oh, what's it going to be? So that was really quite fun. But I love the fact that it was inspired by what was actually happening on set, like what actually happened between those characters. Does that make sense? Like they could go authentically, they would look, and I had no part in that, but trusted them implicitly, like, oh, this is what needs to happen. It was just like, that's such a fun way to be able to do that,
And yeah, one right there.
So since you shot over all that time, did you have to go back and shoot any shots earlier to like fill in gaps of how you later developed it?
That was what was.
Rarely, mainly we were looking at the relationship between my character and Alison's character to make sure that it was connected, plausible, and that it advanced so that there was a true chemistry happening between them. Anytime there was a problem with that, and typically it wouldn't be with our scenes, it might be something outside of the story. Outside of our scenes that needed to be advanced, like Kathy would say, well, there needs to be something where he's more protective of her in these situations, or not protective of her in a patronizing way, but a patriarchal way, but in a coming through for her.
Sort of, we didn't want it to be one where the man saves a woman, so she was a puppet master the whole time. So we kept that in mind. And the end came later, so going back where the police officer, where he's talking about the police to the police officer, like what happened to Alison. It's like, did the police officer ever say she was dead? They didn't. Just that there was a hit and run. So we didn't have to change anything when we came up with the ending that she came back and didn't die. So that was really lucky.
Kathy came up with the ending.
Well, that's nice, yeah.
Not bad. Okay, and we actually have time for one or two more. Oh, you have one upstairs? Okay, yeah. We'll get you. We'll get you next.
Hello, my question is for Alison, actually. As we watch through the film, we see multiple viewpoints, and they're all told for Alison. We see her boyfriend's point of view. We see Mark's point of view. Even the police officer has a point of view of what's happened to Alison. But as an actress, you need to have a handle of the character, and you need a thread throughout the 15 months of production. So what for you is the handle? How did you attack this character, and did it evolve with the production?
Yeah, it's such an interesting thing. I think in her writing and in her monologue, the way that they visualized her journaling to him was the way that she could speak, because she didn't other than that, right? And I think that's an actually interesting choice that we kind of were deciding at the last minute, will we see her face or not? Because at a point, it would make sense to not even see her actually speaking those words and just having her say them or having him read them. And so it was an interesting choice to do that, and it could have worked either way. For me, I have connection to some of the things, unfortunately, that would lead me to connect to the character in terms of things in my past that I could relate to. And it's interesting because I don't typically use that in my work. I usually distance myself from those things, which is an interesting thing. I think full trust and just full understanding of a woman's point of view. And I have to say that Kathy was like the voice of female for me, and she was an intimacy coach, and they're a married couple, and I feel like their partnership is so extraordinary. And to have the wife of your lead actor, who you're making out with, be your intimacy coach, and also be just like she was saying, like, he can't be the savior. Like, she would make comments about the way that he was touching me, or if he was standing too tall, that he was overbearing. Like, she brought so much in terms of advocacy for not only victims of stuff, but just in terms of power dynamic of male, female, or just those things. And so for her, it was things I wasn't even thinking about that I was feeling intimately. So she was a huge part of that.
That's great.
Talk a lot when you ask me a question. Like, oh,
Here you guys.
I feel in a lot of ways this film is sort of a Valentine to San Francisco.
Yes.
The city looks so gorgeous. And I'm just so amazed at those shots you got. And this is coming from someone who made a film called San Francisco Stories. You guys got some amazing stuff. How big was your crew size on Polk Street, at Grace Cathedral, all those places? Minuscule?
Maybe 5 people.
Really small. We don't make ourselves big. We make ourselves very small so that we can get the shots, and shoot at 3 a.m.
Tell them about how much time you're spending shooting by yourself.
Oh, yes. I mean, there's a lot of... Yeah, I've researched, shoot it again and again and again, figure out the locations, what they mean in terms of the script, test it. So it's an enormous amount of time, but it's fun because we're keeping it small and trying to figure out how it relates and will advance the story. Make it. In this case, he's isolated, so there's all these isolated shots where it's very wide, and then it gets closer when he's with Alison and so forth. So, but we're just trying to fulfill the story mainly.
That's awesome. And if you don't mind, I actually like to piggyback on something you said, Alison, for you guys, if that's okay, because all due respect, like your acting, your story was so raw, real, powerful, fierce, all this stuff. And then one of my favorite parts was when the minister or someone comes in to bring you guys up, who tries to bring all those raw, real, power, fierceness stuff, but instead it's like, man, F out of here, man. And then it brings you guys together in the same way, but just in the opposite way, more lovingly instead of at each other. So my apologies to do this if it makes it vulnerable, but I got to know, how did you draw? How did you get to that point? Again, I don't want to say what inspired you to feel so hurt or anything like that, but what I saw was just so amazing, and I just had to know, how'd you get there? How'd you get to that point? Was it something personal, or was it something that you drew from somewhere else?
For me and Jay, we really talked. I think we met every week to write it, and then we did character analysis on each of our characters. And one thing we wanted to show was the vulnerability of men, you know, especially black men. You know, it's something that you don't see on the screen, and we kind of wanted to to show a different perspective, but a real perspective too. And so what I did was I literally just made him real, you know, to a point where, like I said, one of the challenges was protecting him. Like when we were action, it was like I wanted to protect him, but I also wanted to tell his story in the most truthful way, because I felt like I wanted to, like Alison mentioned, like take myself out and just let him, you know, kind of shine. But I definitely wanted to just shed light on the other aspects of us.
And just piggyback on what Dre said, that is 100% true. We wanted to capture the realness from black men, from our perspective, being able to be vulnerable. And this was multiple times, like as you all can see, Andre, he was the star. He was the character that led the story through it all. So being able to allow him to be comfortable and said that, hey, we're not judging you. We're here to support you and bring this character back to life. Let's do it. And constantly adding that to his value every single time we're shooting, reshooting, doing it again, another take. And eventually this is what you guys got right here. Yeah.
How many days did you shoot?
It was just 2 days, 2 different locations. Yeah.
One location?
No, 2 different locations.
Okay.
Yeah. It was one for the funeral and then
right.
one for the actual outside scene. But I do have a question for Alison, though, and her crew. I was waiting for that question. So there was multiple scenes where Alison's like and just talking to the ether and having her own dialogue to herself. As a director's point of view, like what was the choice to actually do that in the story, and what was the purpose of it as well, too?
Oh, sorry.
We just thought it would show the way that he would visualize her. It'd be entering his mind. So, you know, he's reading the journal, so we see it flow into the way he's visualizing her, and then include all those cutaways and so forth, just sort of that's flashing in his mind as it goes along, as he goes further and further into understanding her. So, yeah.
That's amazing stuff. But you know what? I got to commend you guys, because everything that you guys did, I believed you two as a couple struggling with each other, and I damn sure believed you guys as brothers with each other, and like going through it both ways and both sides.
The minister was excellent too, by the way.
Yeah, the minister was great too. That's why I got to end.
No, it's different. The uncle was the guy that came out.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I misspoke. It was the uncle that came out, and sorry about that.
So the minister was actually added last minute, and that's my father-in-law in real life.
No way.
He's not an actor or anything, but he is a real minister.
And like you said, the uncle, there are 2 different characters. And the uncle, we used him as a pivotal character to give the scene more of a dynamic feel, other than just both going into it and just changing randomly whenever we're nice to each other.
It was like perfect like levity, and then to see you guys smile after that and be like, what the fuck, we can take him, you know? Like, I was like, love that. I feel like we needed that, and obviously you guys needed that. That was the point, because you came in hard, but then you guys were like, hee hee. You didn't hee hee.
The lesson, the lesson of the film is saying, even though we all experience death, we all go grieving different ways. So don't forget to lean on your family. They're grieving as well too. So all it takes is just asking them how they're doing, or just being there present, physically being there for them, calling them, seeing how they're doing. That's just the small things you can do. It may be helpful for you as well as helpful for your family member as well too.
Yeah, great stuff, man. And so with that, I'd like to get to pretty much the closing with some final questions, which is the fun part. Any other projects coming up for you guys, and tell us how we can follow you on IG and such. And that would be next.
You can follow me, AndreKJefferson.com or Andre K. Jefferson on all social media.
That's easy.
So we're actually turning Grieving Brothers into a series. So we'll have like 3 parts coming out, and then working on a current feature called Fish Pond Crab, shot 100% in Oakland, independently funded, and then we're not going to stop, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
That's exciting. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm viewing Alison on Instagram, and I'm really bad on social media, but please follow me and I'll say hi. I have a couple shorts coming out. I have 3 films in the festival, just a couple that I'm shooting this year. And then I have a feature that actually has a theatrical release in LA in August, so that'll be coming. It's called Molar. More will come on social media about that.
I don't know. We have coffeeandlanguage1.com. I don't know how to do this.
Coffee and Language on all the social.
Yeah, Coffee and Language 1 is on IG, and then Coffee and Language is our production company. And I'm Kathy Montosa. I'm on all stuff, but it's not all about this. So, how about you?
We're going on vacation after this tonight. I know, that's it. Yeah, we were there going on vacation after tonight. So we've had a great time with BraveMaker, though, so much. Thanks, you, Art.
Yeah, thanks. No, I appreciate that. And because we appreciate you bringing your talents and stories to the big screen and to us. And most of all, to all of you guys, because...
Thank you.
Yeah, because...
Yay, Dan and Leslie are here.
Yeah. And so... so with that, and... Oh, did you...
The other feature, Not Tonight, was last night. And then designed by Preeti Rashmi and Guy Tree are here, the filmmakers for that. And me doing that movie is how I got the lead role in the movie I did last night. They were so kind. I auditioned for a different part in their film, and I didn't get it. And they offered me a smaller part. And I loved the story, and I wanted to work with them. And I said, of course, yes. On that set, I met the writer and lead actor of another film and got the chance to audition for that one. So it's this kind of beautiful thing that happens. Oh, there he is, Puneet. And this is kind of beautiful thing that happens in small, wonderful communities of filmmakers. Oh, Not Tonight. Sorry. And then Designed by Preeti is tomorrow at 3 at the Fox. Please come. It's an amazing story.
Cool. Yeah, please come. Yes, and thanks for promoting us for what's going on. And thank you guys again, because without all of you coming to support with them, they don't have a chance to do this. So it means a lot to us, to them, and to you guys. And so with that, please support BraveMakers. Go to BraveMaker.com, see what you'll be able to volunteer, to donate. And so that way it'll help us get to year number 8.
They need the money.
Yeah, exactly. And so, follow these guys if you can help them out with their upcoming projects, and you'll see it next year, God willing. So with that, thank you guys very much. There's one more block coming up at 9:45. You'd like to stay? Other than that, thanks again, and thank you all. Give it one more pause. Yeah, Advocate. Yeah, I know. Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say was like, more because go ahead.